Dave Conner. I am with Harrell-Fish, Inc. out of Bloomington, Indiana, and I am the Chief Financial Officer. We started as a mechanical construction company back in 1986, and about 20 years ago we added a service department. And that service department has now grown from initially 1 tech to about 45 technicians, doing anything from residential work all the way up to large commercial service and maintenance work at about $13 million volume. We still maintain our construction focus and new construction renovations at about $30 million. Before we used Jonas, we used a product called Star Builder, and that was a heavy construction product, and therefore we had to account and collect information as if every individual service work ticket or work order was a small project. And that was cumbersome, time-consuming, and not very nimble as far as getting the information back out of it. It also did not have a dispatching section, so consequently we supported or supplemented that with a lot of manual activity, manual work using the old system. We chose Jonas after an exhaustive software search where it started with basically a request for information from several vendors according to the lines of what we were looking to get out of a system. One of the primary moves we wanted to make to that next level was a fully integrated system. And so one of the questions I continued to ask was, of all the software providers, is your system completely integrated, or is it just interfacing of multiple products? And again, our old system had an interfacing service module, and if we ever had any issues, sometimes it was system 1, sometimes it was system 2, and sometimes it was the pipe that was putting the two together, which neither one wanted to take ownership for. So we went through that search, and we chose Jonas because we thought it was the right value in an integrating system. At Harrell-Fish, our training experience really started about 3 to 4 months before we actually brought the implementation consultant on site. We realized there were some things that we want to change to our own operations, and we took the opportunity to really address those prior to making the system transition, so we didn't end up with a system that just looked like the old way we did it and then would add another roadblock to changing it down the road. So we started a few months early, addressed some of those cost coding items, and upgrades to our system purchase order processes internally. When we put a lot of thought into that then led us, when the implementation consultant came on, we found things to be very, very smooth because we already had in our mind how we wanted the system to work. And then he was able to partner us up with, well, then here's how Jonas can be customized or configured to work with where we wanted it to go. And that was, again, one of the benefits we saw in Jonas was the fact that it wasn't so rigid. It actually offered some flexibility based on where we wanted it to go, and it really went quite smoothly after that. In our old system, we did not have electronic purchase order processing, and so that move into Jonas in and of itself was monumental for us. And in our first year of operations, we wrote over, I believe it was 12,000 purchase orders inside the system that were all done manually before. So after that initial training we went through, we then had a few more months of fine-tuning and getting information ready for the upload process. And our consultant was there, continuing to guide us through the process of where we wanted to go, but always sprinkling a little bit of best practices from other companies that he had worked with. Then when it was time to go live, we basically uploaded our final information, and we're ready to go live on our January 1 new calendar and fiscal year. Well, some of the benefits we realized from Jonas by transitioning to their payroll system is, again, quicker input, quicker reporting, more timely data. We can see the impact of our jobs, see where they stand according to the estimates, where they should be in production. That's on the construction side. On the service side, getting that information in more timely has decreased the amount of time it's taken us to get service billings out from, at a minimum, the week delay to get all the information in there and then get it processed a few days after, to down to some cases a day or two, where we can get those out, and even now collecting at the time of service on some of these. As a result of using Jonas's payroll and getting the cost posted quicker, we've actually reduced our billing time from what used to be 5 to 10 days at a minimum down to 1 to 3 days, which has really helped cash flow, and so it's really improved our bottom line. Reporting through Jonas has really helped in a number of areas, but there's one area that I found it to be really, really beneficial, and that's in our unbilled work order costs. Our unbilled work order costs used to be a very manual collection of the information because all of our old work orders under our old system were treated as individual projects. So I basically have to review an outstanding list of projects and look for those that hadn't been billed. Through the reporting system of Jonas, I actually now have one of my administrative assistants generate these reports for us on a scheduled basis. She gets done in about 25 minutes, what used to take me about 5 hours of accumulation time. What I enjoy about partnering with Jonas is working with the individuals who seem to understand that their system can always be improved upon. And so what I like is when we're looking to improve our process and we bring up a suggestion, oftentimes I find it's in the works at Jonas, or they're very open to the feedback that we give, and then they start working on that or collecting that to see if it can be done, which more often it can. And so I really enjoy the fact that it's not rigid, it's not flexible out of the box, but also it seems as though the Jonas group is constantly looking to improve their own process to the benefit of their clients. And I really appreciate that because it gives me security in not only the decision I made, but in the decision going forward that they are still going to improve along with us.